Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we give to you video number 1 of 2. It's the latest, it's the news, it's the rumours, it's what's happening, it's what's kicking off. And later on tonight, as promised yesterday, you guys are going to be getting your Chelsea versus Fulham match preview. We are the early kickoff tomorrow, 12:30 lunchtime on a Saturday. Some would call it the bogey slot. It's possible. Things tend to go wrong in that time slot. Who knows? Maybe the thing that will go wrong is that Chelsea won't lose. Who knows? I'll get into the preview later on, so make sure you guys are there for that later. Much appreciated. Now, let's get into the latest and what is kicking off and what is happening. And we've got a player that has actually gone out on loan. And he signed a new contract. Well, not a new contract, a contract extension. So let's get right into it. This is the big elephant in the room as of today. Younes Maatsen. Official. Younes Maatsen will spend the remainder of the season on loan at Borussia Dortmund and has signed a contract extension with Chelsea until 2026. That's the latest in regards to Younes Maatsen. Now, Chelsea have painted the picture like, oh, he's gone off. He signed a contract extension, so he's our player and he's not going anywhere and he's going on a loan and he's going to come back afterwards. Good luck. Good luck for the remainder of the season, Ian. We'll see you afterwards. That's the kind of vibe that Chelsea have given out. Even in the way that their social media have put it. I'll show you this. Younes Maatsen has joined Borussia Dortmund on loan after signing a contract extension with Chelsea until 2026. Good luck for the rest of 23-24, Ian. Let's be honest. Yeah. Listen, now we're going to be honest. Every video, we're going to be honest. All cards on the table, right? We're calling it out for what it is and for how we see it, yeah? Simple. This is a good luck for the rest of the season, please. So then, go and play well. I want to see you do well. Go and smash it over there. That way your value can increase and we can sell you, mate. Cheers. That's basically what's happening here. Ian, I don't think is coming back to Chelsea. We've seen the last of him. He's gone. He'll go after Dortmund. I reckon he'll do well. I reckon he'll have a good loan stint out there. And I think that will benefit Dortmund. And that will benefit Chelsea. Chelsea will look at that and go, okay, he's played well. Well, he signed a contract extension, so his contract's until 2026. So what are you paying, Dortmund? And then Dortmund will end up paying a fee because he's done really well for them and they wouldn't want to let him go, and then they'll buy him and we'll get pure profit. Pure profit. That's what's going to happen, I think. I think that writing's on the wall. So personally, I think Younes Maatsen has left and I don't think he's coming back. I'll be shocked if he's coming back. And the only way he does come back is if Borussia Dortmund don't decide to buy at the end. He leaves Dortmund and another club comes in after seeing his performances at Dortmund, pay the money, and then he heads off. Regardless, one way or another, I think we've seen the last of him in a Chelsea shirt. So let me know your thoughts. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you see it in the same way or do you think that, no, he'll come back and he'll be in the Chelsea squad? Personally, I wouldn't think so. I was going to say something and then I remembered our owners. I was going to say, no, you know what? It might change if another manager comes in and he decides, no, you know what? I want to keep Younes Maatsen. So when he comes back from loan, when he's back from loan, I want to keep him. But that's not how the owners run, is it? The owners will be like, listen, pure profit. Thank you. He's gone. Here's your squad. Deal with it. That's so, I don't know. Listen, in normal circumstances, if a new manager were to come in like we are very, very much expecting to, at least at the end of the season, then he'll get to have a say on who he wants in the squad, and Younes Maatsen might be one of those if he does have a very good loan out at Dortmund, but I don't think it's happening. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Now, another person has headed off immediately after coming back. Datro Fofana to Burnley. Here we go. Agreement in place for the striker to join on loan deal. Understand there's no buy option. Chelsea believe Premier League experience will be key. Medical on Saturday. Salary 100% covered by Burnley. Datro Fofana heads off to Turf Moor. Good luck to him. It was very, very fast in the way that this happened, by the way. He came back from Union Berlin. All of a sudden, as soon as his plane has touched down at London, bosh. You're off to Burnley, mate. Divert the plane. Stay on the plane. Pilot, direction Burnley, please. So, David Datro Fofana has headed off to Burnley. He'll be playing in the Premier League, which is good. We'll be able to keep a close eye on him. And you best believe the one thing that we are, I think, going to get from him, unlike Andre Santos, he's going to play. Because Burnley are in a situation where they have to claw themselves out of the relegation zone. If not, they will go down. And David Datro Fofana is going to be, I'm sure, a player that they've brought in on loan who is going to be the one they're hoping makes a difference, maybe alongside other players they bring in this January in order to turn their situation. David Datro Fofana is going to be one of those. So I expect him to play. You know, if not, you ain't escaping the relegation zone. You've brought someone in on loan. He's the one that you're relying on to make a difference. Well, play him. That's why I think he's going to get minutes, and we're going to keep a close eye on his performances at Burnley and see whether he will do well over there within the Premier League, and then we'll be able to make at least a good judgment of what he can do by the end of the season. So, good luck over at Burnley, Mr. David Datro Fofana. Go and kill it over there, at least. And I am looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing out there. Now, let me know your thoughts on the Datro Fofana. Do you think he'll do well at Burnley? Do you think he won't? Let me know. I saw this, and I don't even know if this is true. I'm going to be honest with you. But let's entertain it. Chelsea have had a £52 million bid for Benfica's Antonio Silva rejected. This is from the Mail. He's got a release clause. Why would we do that? This is why I'm thinking, have we tried to lowball Benfica here? Or are we trying to sweeten them up? Are we trying to, open the can of worms? Here's a 52 million bid that we know you're going to say no to, but it gets the conversation going. I don't know, but I find it pointless. There's absolutely no reason for us to be able to, as far as I'm concerned, try and go after a player that has a release clause, and a very high one. If I'm not mistaken, he's got I'm just verifying now, he's got 180 million release clause. 120 million euro. Yeah, euro release clause, roughly around 100 million pounds. Will they accept a little lower than that? Perhaps. But once again, this is a player who, 20 years old, young, potential, has had a considerable amount of games for Benfica as a football club. He's approaching 70 games. Has played only at Benfica because he has come from their youth team. So he's been part of Benfica since he was young. Is now a Portuguese international, has had a few caps. But 20 years old, has played 45 times in the first division of Portugal. And we're now talking about 100 million again. Why do we do this? Why do we do? And you know what? I'm going to say this, yeah? I'm going to say this. He does look like a good defender, right? But the profile of player we are looking at here is not what we need, man. We've got enough young potential, high ceiling, maybe this, if that. Like, I'm done with those players, man. Stop bringing in kids. And I know 20's not kid, but you get the gist, man. I'm done. There was a time where Chelsea were like, Chelsea don't play youth. And then we were like, we're dying. We're desperate to see one youngster in this team. Now, I'm dying to see one experienced head in this team, mate. Please, bring me a 28-year-old. Bring me a 28-year-old. Please. I mean, especially with the expectation that Thiago Silva's going to be leaving, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. Now, some would argue that this defender is better than Desassi, Badiashile. Some would even say Levi Colwell because he's been putting stinkers in, but he's been playing left back, so it's hard to judge. He didn't help himself in that last performance, though, let's be honest, against Middlesbrough. But some would argue that Silva is technically an upgrade on those guys. Fair enough. But is anyone certain? Is anyone sure? The one thing that I do have to take into consideration here, before there's full, complete judgment on the players that we have, I need to see a top manager manage these lot first. And then I think we can turn our attention to the players properly. I'll give you one example. Do you remember when we were calling Rudiger? We were all skeptical about Rudiger under Frank Lampard. Do you remember that? And then under Thomas Tuchel, we were calling him the best central defender in the world right now. Because that was true. Do you know what I mean? So this whole Pochettino situation needs to be resolved first before we go all in on players. This is why I don't go out and I criticize the players all out completely and go, they're responsible for this loss. You've caused this. I've not done that. I've not done that for a reason, because they need to be managed correctly first. The limitations they have even within themselves is clear to see. The recruitment hasn't been correct. So I want to see what a top manager, respectfully, will do with them before there's a complete judgment on the ability of the player. You know, Enzo Fernandez, for example, is getting criticised. I'm not going to come on here and say Enzo is rubbish. He's not rubbish. Come on. He's not a rubbish footballer. Same applies for Caicedo. I refuse to say that Caicedo is a rubbish footballer. But tactically, we've got nothing going in our way. So I have to stress, before we even go in for players like Antonio Silva and all that and start spending 100 million and doing all that madness again, right? I need the Pochettino situation resolved first. I need the top manager in, and preferably, again, look, it goes back to the same point. The solution for me at this football club is to flipping change the manager and the directors. If the owners can see that and get one elite sporting director in, one elite manager in, and then let them get on with it, and then start talking about bringing players that they're both going to be happy with, then cool, we are heading somewhere, and I will absolutely be on board. But till that point, talking about spending 100 million, going and getting this potential, going and get that potential, it's just a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And it goes to show, I'm stressing that this team does need some sort of experience in there, right? But even now, with the way that we're moving, and how I know Poch's writing is on the wall, even I am now thinking, especially after that Middlesbrough game, you know what? Pause the transfers. Stop. Just pause it. Pause it. For this month, pause it. Because this season is written off already as far as I'm concerned. Stop. Before you spend more money and get more players in that are going to fall into the same bracket of everyone we've got in the team right now that we're unsure and we're uncertain of, why do that? Go and sort out and get the solution that we are recommending here. One top sporting director, get rid of the two, get one elite manager in, and then let's start talking about potential and signings and bringing in the experience and doing all of that. We have to, because that needs to be addressed. But I want to see the potential and what the ability of the players under a top manager first, before we start making assumptions on changing this player and change that player and change this player and change that player. That would be best. In terms of the young ones, by the way, experience we absolutely need anyway. We need that anyway, because there has to be balance. We've got no balance. So let me know your thoughts in regard to that and Antonio Silva. Now, there's a situation at Real Madrid we're going to check out now. Here it is. Kepa Arrizabalaga fears he will be sent back to Chelsea after falling out of favour at Real Madrid. A source said he has been very unlucky. He got injured while playing his best. He loves Madrid and really wants to stay. He will not give up. This is from Andy Dillon at The Sun. The Sun are The Sun, and I don't trust The Sun one bit, as far as I'm concerned. So we have to take that into consideration. But I do want to stress that there has been talk about Kepa having to leave Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are just not convinced. But he wants to stay at Real Madrid. And if you saw the last game that Real Madrid played, that was against Atletico Madrid. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable what Kepa performed there. What in the blue? I've never seen an own goal like it. That was, you know what? We've all seen Kepa's mistakes, and we've all seen what he can do and the blunders that he comes up with sometimes, right? But that took the cake. I normally, when I see Kepa, I've got my head in my hands. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. What's he done? And I'm all over the place. But this one blunder in their last game, I was impressed. It was so crazy and so bad. I was very impressed. I'm like, yo, how in the hell did you execute that? How have you done that? He's gone for the ball. He's fumbled it. It's rolled off his leg, rolled off his foot. It's gone up and over him and into the net. How have you done that? You could attempt that 1 million times and you won't get it. Incredible. 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 Now, some would argue that Kepa is actually better in terms of what we've got at the club in terms of goalkeepers right now, because that's how poorly recruited we are in terms of the goalkeepers. Again, not to take anything away from Petrovic, because Petrovic, I think, is better than Sanchez. But Petrovic has a lot of time on his hands. A lot of potential. He's been playing well. Nothing wrong with Petrovic so far. Nothing at all. He's not made one big mistake. None. Right? He's done exactly what a goalkeeper is expected to do. And he's just operating under the radar. And fantastic. I expected slightly less than that, to be honest, at his level and his experience and his age. So, he's got experience. But you get the gist. At a top club and at a top level in the Premier League. So, Petrovic I'm happy with. But overall, we don't exactly have a number one goalkeeper that all the teams can go, yeah, the Chelsea have a number one goalkeeper there. Like, we don't. And Kepa, if he were to come back, a lot of people probably go, yeah, he's still your best goalkeeper. Which is crazy, because we should have a better goalkeeper by now. Do you know what I mean? So, unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Unbelievable scenes. So, that's latest on Kepa. Listen, Kepa, don't give up. Please keep working. Please smash it over there. Do whatever it takes and whatever you got to do to get Real Madrid to go, we're keeping you. Whatever it takes, yeah? Whatever it takes. I don't care if you've got to go to Barcelona and graffiti up the place, just to get Real Madrid to laugh and accept you there. I don't know, right? You got to get a Barcelona top and trample over it. I don't know. Whatever you got to don't. Respectfully, I'm not for those sort of antics. Sporting respect is sporting respect. But you get what I mean. Do whatever you got to do to stay at Madrid. Please. So, what's crazy is I think he's got 1 year left on his deal. Do you remember when we signed him and he had 7 years? Look how much time's passed and look at the situation we were in with him. Unbelievable. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Now, to wrap up, check this out. This is a very interesting piece from, I've not said his name in a while, Janage Fjortoft. Do you remember him? I was talking about him when we was talking about Werner and Havertz and all of that. Good times. Here's what he had to say. He's put, the problem is with Pochettino. We all love his character. We like him and everything. But I'm just wondering, would we be more impatient if it was another manager? Because I can't see any progress. I'm struggling to see a progress, right? And then this reaction was, it kills me how ESPN are the only ones who are watching our games and not having pundits who will gaslight us into thinking Poch is the be-all and end-all. And you know what? I have to agree here. There is a sense of protection in this country, and I don't understand why. There's not much scrutiny. Pundits here are just, yeah, Chelsea are playing a little bit bad, but, it's not that bad. What? Are you guys all right, mate? But when I see the reaction from elsewhere, everyone's saying the same thing. Outside the UK, not just United States, go anywhere else. France, the Arab world, Africa, in the States, like I've said, go wherever, the reaction is the same. This is ridiculous. But in England, Pochettino, he'll be all right. It's bonkers. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, on ESPN specifically, and Frank Leboeuf, who's been on there, obviously ex-Chelsea man, ex-Chelsea player, and he's been completely honest, and he's called it out for what it is. He's calling out the board now. So, fair play, because that's exactly what the issue is. So, fair play to Frank Leboeuf. But you got other people on other platforms in the United States saying the same thing, and elsewhere saying the same thing. That this is ridiculous, and that is true. On a managerial level, what we're seeing is poor. There's no system. There's nothing in this Chelsea team. There's no progress. In fact, we're depleting. We're going down. It's you got to call it out. So, and like I said, I understand it's not all Pochettino, but he shouldn't have been hired in the first place. We're not operating like a top club on any level, and Poch included, and that was always going to happen with a Pochettino. Now we realise, and we've given it some time, we understand that maybe doubts at the beginning were correct. So we need to shift this entire strategy over, and we need to end it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And English punditry, need to up the levels because right now it's in the bin. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Be here later on for video number 2 as we get into the preview for Chelsea versus Fulham. Early kickoff tomorrow. Stamford Bridge, God forbid. Let's see what's going to go down tomorrow. And I will see you all later on tonight for that. Hit the subscribe button to be able to catch that upload and all the other uploads that drop on this channel. There will be a watch along for tomorrow's game as well. So make sure you're here for that as we go through the motions once again together. the pain. So we'll hold each other's hands. Don't worry, we'll be there. I'll see all of you later on. Thank you all so much for watching. In a bit, people. Take care and peace.